If you have big dreams or just want a little more out of life, but have never been able to create that success for yourself, this video is for you. See, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't have a generational curse or bad luck. There's just one simple thing that you need to do in order to create that success, and it's simpler than you'd imagine. See, you're not actually lazy, but you are working really, really hard to get nothing in return, and I know exactly how that feels. When I was 19 years old, before I had any sort of success in my life, I actually worked a Planet Fitness personal training job. I worked about 30 hours a week to get $300 in return. That is absurd to me. I was working so hard, standing all day. I remember my back hurting, and I quit that job after 3 weeks. I just knew it wasn't for me. I knew there was bigger things out there that I could be doing that was gonna make me better money in return. See, a lot of you are just stuck in some dead-end job that's not getting you any of the results that you want. And this is the issue, is that you are working in return for money. What you need to do is you need to work and utilize high leverage income skills that are actually gonna allow you to get paid. And see, this is the key to making money online and making more money than you'd ever imagine, or just being able to live financially free and travel the world, even if you don't have those aspirations of making tons of money, but you don't wanna be a slave to the system. This is still the path that you need to take. So no matter what your goals are, this is the way that you're gonna be able to break free, unless you enjoy working a 9 to 5, having a boss breathing down your neck, and just having the shitty conditions of work. I mean, that really sucks, and I know exactly how it feels. In those 3 weeks, I started to hate my life. See, I've worked many different jobs before that were, in person, kind of like that 9 to 5 style, doing pizza delivery, all different kinds of things as a kid growing up. But I knew that those were not for me. I knew it in my heart that those were only temporary things, that there was something bigger. And this is what led me to figure this out. See, the thing is, a lot of you are probably working really, really hard at these jobs, but you're not getting anything realized out of it. You're not getting any of the money that you deserve for the work you're putting in. If you put the amount of work that you're putting into your job into a high income, high leverage skill, you will be making so much money. My days now are almost crazy how little the work is. And once I found the highest leverage and highest income skill that I could develop, that's gonna get me everything I want out of life, the amount of work that actually had to go into this to succeed is a 10th, if not a 20th, of what you would be doing in a 9 to 5. So it all really comes down to finding the highest leverage skills. And let me tell you one more quick story before I go into what those skills are gonna be. So when I was about a year ago, so right before I turned 22, so 21, I was actually in credit card debt. I had had some successful ventures. I'd figured out what a high leverage skill was, which was sales for me at the time. This was allowing me to get paid more, working less, being able to have some of that freedom. And I started my own business. This was one of the highest leverage things that I could have taken on, was starting a sales mentorship business where I was teaching others how to get that financial freedom, how to develop a high income skill. So doing that allowed me to make 8 to 15K per month. That was my first successful business beyond just having successful sales careers. So one thing you can take away is that sales is a high leverage, high income skill. It's the backbone of every single business. And when I learned that, that's where I started. But in this video, I'm gonna be telling you the highest leverage and highest income skill that you can do in order to get success out of life, that whatever it is you want, whether you just wanna travel a little bit, be able to be more financially free, or you wanna be the biggest star like Jake Paul, this is gonna be the highest leverage income skill that you can take on. And now, what you've all been waiting for, this is going to be personal branding. See, when I started that business, the high ticket sales one, within 2 months, I realized that having a personal brand would help me sell this. I didn't know that I was gonna transfer over to life coaching and do what I'm doing now with it, but at the time, I just started posting on YouTube, talking about the things that I believe in and starting to cultivate an audience. I didn't have much success in the start. There was very little traction that came with this. And this is one of the reasons why it is going to be so hard, is because you're not gonna see success for so long. That is the key, is that if you can stay consistent over a long enough time frame, you will see success. And this is where most people fail. And this is why I said, imagine if you put only a 10th or a 20th of the amount of work into something that is your own, that you're creating for yourself. This is gonna make you so much more money than working so hard, being a cog in the machine for someone else's business. If you're working for someone else, you're almost never gonna attain the level of freedom, the level of wealth that you could if you built your own thing. And this is when I realized that when I started my own business. And this is also when I realized that I needed to take on an even higher leverage, higher income skill if I wanted to have the money I wanted. See, I was making that 8 to 15K per month, and that was awesome. It was a huge win for me at the time, my first real successful business. And I was living life, honestly. It was one of the best times of my life. But I also realized in that phase that this was still a lot of hard work. That me being the boss of this company, having employees, it was a lot of headaches. I was working insane hours. I loved what I did, but I realized that there was something even higher leverage, and that is personal branding. See, when you build an audience, you have a cheat code to life. It's almost insane to think about. I want you to think about every single influencer, some of the biggest ones out there, Andrew Tate, Iman Gadzhi. All these guys have a massive following behind them. Anything they launch is gonna be successful. I actually just watched the new Nelk video yesterday where they went and talked to an uncontact tribe and they integrated with them. And in that video, Kyle talked about his new fitness program that's run with a different coach who helped him have that successful transformation. That product, that business that he just launched is going to be wildly successful. It is going to blow up, and it's all because of the personal brand that they have. Behind Nelk, there's millions and millions of followers. There's gonna be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who watch that video, and tons of them who are gonna wanna get on that program and have the same success that Kyle had, to be able to, have a good body whilst traveling, whilst partying. That's the transformation they're selling, is having a sick physique whilst being able to party and live your life. And then they got the specific coach and trainer behind it who's gonna be running that business. See, you can launch an unlimited amount of businesses if you have a personal brand, and you can outsource and leverage other people with different skill sets. The skill set that you need to develop is cultivating attention. And if you can cultivate attention in any way, shape, or form, you are going to make money. That is the key. See, Nelk doesn't know anything about fitness per se beyond what the average person knows, but their personal trainer that's gotten them all those results, built out those custom programs for them, does. And they can partner with him to make a super successful fitness coaching business that's gonna instantly, overnight, make them and that coach tons of money. Whereas I don't know the coach in particular, but if he were to launch an online business, fitness coaching business, it most likely would have been much more difficult for him to get that started. And now he doesn't even have to spend any money on ads. Nelk in itself is the ad promotion platform. Them mentioning it in the video is the highest leverage ad that they could ever run. They don't have to run ads. The coach himself who's gonna be doing the fitness doesn't have to worry about obtaining clients. He just has to actually run the new business that is just launched. The second they put that video out, there's gonna be hundreds of people signing up for this. That is the power of a personal brand. So I've given you a couple examples, and if you haven't understood it yet and how important a personal brand is, if you seriously aren't thinking about starting one, then the 9 to 5 might be for you. But if you're realizing the power of this and you really want to get started, you want to change your life, you want to live financially free, then you are now hopefully realizing that personal branding is the key. Like I was saying, I was making 8 to 15K per month, and I realized that personal branding was gonna be the key to my future success. And that's why I went all in on this. And that's why I consistently posted every single day. And it's been now 6 or 7 months, when the first 4-5 months, I pretty much saw little to no success, just very slow growth. The first month, I think I only gained 50 subscribers. And it did take, time to start building and growing, and it's been growing more and more. And it was about 5 to 6 months before I made any money from all the effort I put in for that long time. And that's what it's gonna take. So I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's the highest leverage thing that you can do. For me, those first 5 or 6 months, I was just sitting down and recording a video. I wasn't putting too much into each one of them, and that only took me about 20 to 30 minutes per day to record a video. Sometimes I'd mess up, sometimes I'd have to restart. I have developed the skill of sales and communication, so I can do this a little bit easier. If you haven't done that, this is something you're gonna wanna work on, is being able to speak clear and concisely to the camera, portraying your message in an effective way. But now, as I'm diving more into building the personal brand, as I'm starting coaching businesses, as I'm going full time with this, I'm definitely putting more hours in, but it's still significantly less than the 8 or 9 hours that you'd be putting into a 9 to 5. I must only put in into the actual building of the personal brands, a couple hours a day. That's it. It's really not that much work. And I have a full-time business, a full-time life that is living off of this personal brand that I just started 6 months ago. This is my second successful online business in less than a year. It's only been 8 months since I started my first one. I shut that one down to pursue this full time because I realized the power of it. That is how important this is. If I can't prove this point to you in any other way, think about that. I was making 8 to 15K per month from a business, and I shut that down to go all in on this because I see the potential and the value from personal branding. So I'm gonna leave you there. And if this knowledge was valuable, which I know it was because it took me a long time to learn this, then go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because on here I'm gonna be teaching you how to life max. So getting better in every single aspect of your life. Because why only get money, or why only have the physique, or why only get girls? You want to be a 10 across the board. This is going to allow you to live the best possible human existence as a man. So if that sounds of interest, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want my help starting your personal brand, then you can book a free 30-minute coaching call with me down below, where we're going to dive into your current reality, we're going to build your dream life, and then give you actionable steps in order to achieve it. And there's so many things that goes into building a personal brand. A lot of you don't have the confidence. That was one thing I really needed to develop. And I only was able to get started once I was making 8 to 15K because of the limiting beliefs that I had before wanting to get myself and put myself out there on social media. So limiting beliefs are going to be one of the biggest things that hold you back from actually getting started with this. So if that's something you feel you need help with, is breaking down some of those limiting beliefs, building your confidence, leveling up your personal development so you can actually confidently put yourself out there, then that coaching call is going to be perfect for you. And it's going to be one of the highest leverage activities that you can do in your current state right now. Talk about the best thing that you can do in this moment. Booking that coaching call is the highest leverage activity that you can do in this second. So if you're any bit serious about your future, book that coaching call and I'll see you on there. Have a great day, everyone.